Join me as I dive deep into my own struggles and tackle what's really holding me back from letting go of control. Before we begin, drop a comment and tell me from which city you're watching. Let's get to know each other a little better. Now, let me ask you something. Have you ever caught yourself trying to control every little detail in your life? Maybe it's your work, your family, your relationships, or even the tiny stuff like how your morning routine goes, or how others load the dishwasher. You might laugh, but hey, I've been there too. The truth is, the need to control things is something so many of us struggle with, even if we don't admit it. In this video, we're diving deep into why it's so hard to let go of control, what's really hiding underneath that urge, and how learning to release it can completely change your life. So stick around until the end, because I promise, what you'll discover today might just set you free in ways you never expected. Let's be real. Control feels safe. When we're in control, we feel secure, confident, and in charge of our lives. It's like holding the steering wheel of a car. You know exactly where you're going, and that feels good. But here's the thing. Life doesn't always follow our map. Sometimes it takes a detour. Sometimes it throws traffic in your way. And sometimes it just flips your GPS upside down. And when that happens, the urge to tighten your grip gets even stronger. But why do we do that? Why do so many of us feel this desperate need to hold on so tight? The answer lies deep within our emotions and psychology. For many people, the root of control isn't about power. It's about fear. Fear of uncertainty, fear of failure, fear of being hurt, or fear of being vulnerable. Somewhere along the line, you learned that if you could just manage everything perfectly, maybe you could avoid disappointment or pain. Here's a little truth bomb. Trying to control everything is actually your mind's way of protecting you. It's like an internal bodyguard saying, "Don't worry, I got this." But what it really does is keep you stuck in a constant state of tension and anxiety. You're always waiting for something to go wrong, always trying to fix or prevent problems before they even happen. It's exhausting, isn't it? Pause for a second and think about it. How many times have you lost sleep worrying about things you can't even change? How often have you tried to manage other people's actions or emotions, only to feel frustrated when they didn't behave the way you expected? That's the cycle of control. It promises safety, but delivers stress. Now, here's the crazy part. The more you try to control, the less control you actually have. Sounds ironic, right? The tighter you grip something, the more it slips through your fingers. That's true in relationships, at work, and even in your own happiness. When you micromanage your partner, your kids, or your coworkers, it doesn't build trust. It breaks it. It makes people pull away. It creates tension, and it leaves you feeling more alone than before. Let me tell you a quick story that might sound familiar. Imagine someone who loves their partner deeply, but constantly worries about losing them. So, they start checking in too often, asking too many questions, maybe even trying to control how their partner spends time. It doesn't come from a bad place. It comes from love mixed with fear. But over time, that need to control starts pushing their partner away. What started as care turns into pressure. And when things finally break, the person is left wondering, why does this keep happening to me? Sound familiar? Because here's the truth. Control is often a mask for insecurity. When we don't trust life to unfold naturally, it's usually because we don't trust ourselves or the people around us. We think if we let go, everything will fall apart. But letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means allowing life to flow, instead of forcing it to fit your plan. Here's where it gets really interesting. Psychologists say that control issues often come from early life experiences. Maybe you grew up in an unpredictable household, where things felt chaotic. Maybe someone you trusted disappointed you, or you felt powerless in situations that mattered most. Those experiences can wire your brain to crave control as a way to feel safe. But what kept you safe back then might be holding you back now. So, how do you break free from this habit of control? The first step is awareness. You can't change what you don't see. Start noticing the moments when you try to control things, when you feel anxious if plans change, or when you get frustrated because people don't do things your way. Those are signals. Instead of reacting, pause and ask yourself, what am I really afraid of right now? You'll be surprised how much clarity that simple question brings. The second step is trust, and I get it. Trusting the process is easier said than done. But life has a funny way of working itself out when you stop forcing it. When you let go, you make space for better things to flow in. Think about it. Have you ever tried so hard to make something happen, only to have it fall apart, and later realize it was actually a blessing in disguise? That's the power of letting go. And here's something to remember. Surrender doesn't mean weakness. In fact, it's one of the strongest things you can do, because it takes courage to say, I don't have to control this. I can trust that things will work out. When you surrender, you trade anxiety for peace, control for flow, and tension for freedom. But hey, I'm not saying it's easy. We're human. Our brains love predictability. Letting go feels risky because it means stepping into the unknown. But that's also where growth happens. That's where life surprises you in the best ways. Here's a little exercise I recommend trying after this video. Write down 3 things in your life that you've been trying too hard to control. Maybe it's a relationship, your career path, or how others see you. Then ask yourself, what would happen if I stopped fighting and started trusting? Even if you loosen your grip just a little, you'll notice a shift. Midway check-in. Are you still with me? If you are, hit the like button, because this next part is where things get real. One of the biggest signs you're stuck in control mode is constant worry. You replay conversations in your head. You overthink every decision. You want everything perfect before you can relax. But perfection doesn't exist. It's just another illusion of control. Life is meant to be a little messy, a little unpredictable. That's what makes it beautiful. When you stop trying to control the uncontrollable, you start feeling lighter. You laugh more. You enjoy the moment instead of planning the next one. You begin to see that peace doesn't come from managing everything. It comes from trusting that even when things don't go your way, you'll be okay. Now, let's talk about how control affects relationships. If you've ever tried to control how someone behaves, you've probably noticed it backfires. People don't like feeling controlled. They crave freedom, just like you do. When you let go, you give others space to be themselves. And guess what? That's when genuine connection happens. You stop trying to fix people and start appreciating them. Letting go also improves your well-being. Constant control creates stress hormones like cortisol, which can lead to fatigue, anxiety, and even physical health issues. On the flip side, surrendering to life's flow triggers calm and clarity. You become more resilient because you're not fighting against the current anymore. Think of life like a river. When you try to control the current, you exhaust yourself swimming upstream. But when you let go, the current carries you effortlessly where you're meant to go. So here's your takeaway. Letting go isn't losing. It's gaining freedom. It's about trusting that you're strong enough to handle whatever comes without needing to manipulate every outcome. It's about realizing that the world doesn't fall apart when you stop controlling it. It actually starts to align. And if this message hit home for you, I want you to remember this. You can still care deeply about your goals, your people, and your future without needing to control them. because control and care are not the same thing. Before we wrap up, let me leave you with a little challenge. For the next week, try this. Whenever something doesn't go your way, instead of stressing out, take a deep breath and say, "It's okay. Maybe this is happening for me, not to me." That one shift in perspective can completely change your reality. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and subscribe for more stories and insights about personal growth, relationships, and emotional freedom. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Remember, life's too short to spend it gripping the wheel too tightly. Sometimes the best way to move forward is to let go and trust the ride.